the Convergence of Evolutions, which states that human-like beings on planet Earth are not the only hominoid type of specimen, but there are other human-like beings that exist. In fact, like I said earlier, most of advanced civilizations are humanoid, are beings that are humanoid. So we all share a common ancestry that goes back to the same creator. The other 25 or so percent of the other species has a lot to do with the fallen celestial beings that the Bible calls the Lucifer Rebellion, and the different genetic experimentations that went wrong when these fallen beings infiltrated our galaxy millions and millions of years ago, which I will share later in a different chapter. So what I would like to say is that these ancient mythological deities that our Bible talks about as the sons of God, or the Elohim, or the Nephilim, those that come from heaven and earth, were no other than the Watchers. And they were assigned to not only planet Earth, but assigned to a system of what is known as 1,000 worlds. So there is order on every level, all the way from the system of 1,000 worlds to a constellation which consists of 100,000 systems, all the way up to a galactic sphere which consists of 12 major constellations and innumerable minor ones. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at these ancient mythological gods as lower frequency beings, perhaps existing in the fourth, fifth dimension, that were only given a system, were only given the temporary, were only allowing or given temporary control over a system of 1,000 worlds. And so these are the Nibirians. The Nibirians were the watchers of not only our world, but of 1,000 worlds within a system. And the system is known as the Pleiadians. And the Urantia material is known as the system of Jerusalem, which also consists of a league of 1,000 worlds. So the reason that Nibiru orbits every 3,600 years is because while it's out deep in deep space, when it's not in our solar system, it is also patrolling all of these other worlds that I'm talking about that belong to the system of 1,000 worlds. So as I explain these new theories, we will come to know that these ancient gods that came in our ancient times were actually lowercase gods. They were angelic beings that were in charge of a system, but were also answering to a bigger council in charge of a constellation, in charge of 100,000 systems. So there were many Nibirus and many deities like Zeus and all these other systems patrolling and protecting these other thousands of worlds within a constellation. So the ancient mythological gods also had to answer to what is known as a constellation system. And the constellation system then further answers to what is called the galactic council at the center of the core of the galaxy, and that is the council of immortals that orchestrates and divinely guides the direction and protection of billions of worlds and all the solar systems within the galactic system and other galaxies as well. And so my proposition is that the ancient mythological gods eventually cut themselves up from the higher galactic council in order to experiment their own things as when they took over the affairs of this planet. And I would like to share that they are part of a long lineage of descent that began at the center of the galaxy, those providing correct the theory of the central sun theory and the principles of centropy, which states that from the center of the galaxy, life is distributed equally in the circumference way throughout the entire galactic spheres. So, with that have said, I would also like to talk about the theory of involution, which again states or validates our cosmic celestial origin, and that is the theory that we began as spiritual beings, and through a process of involution, or what the esoteric tradition calls the descent of spirit into matter, we eventually became stuck in physical bodies. But right now, as we speak, living in the fullness of time, the reactivation of our 90% of our DNA, or what they call our junk DNA, is being slowly reactivated, but on different levels. Not everyone's going to be exalted to the same degree, but everyone's going to be upgraded, and those changes are already taking place, because the energy that is causing those sudden leaps in evolution, that has always been the case, is penetrating and infusing our sun with these high-level scalar waves that in turn are going into the North and South Pole, causing the entire frequency of the planet, the collective energy field, to rise up to the fourth and fifth density, allowing celestial beings and terrestrial beings to once again coexist. So we must be ready for the changes that are upon us. And in order to understand these changes, we have to understand these theories, and also the theories that I'm also proposing. So now that we have the central sun theory, the theory of involution, the theory of convergent of evolutions, and along with these other five theories, the intervention theory, the ancient astronaut theory, the panspermia theory, the theory of multiple worlds and multiple civilizations, and the theory of multiple universes. Now that we have these 8 theories in place, they all fall under a grand theory of cosmic ancestry. And so now they have something, a foundation, something to rest upon. And so the theory of cosmic ancestry is similar to what physicists call the theory of everything in science, that which is almost at the point of mathematically being explained, which has a lot to do with the transition that we're experiencing at this time. There is the revolution is taking place. The changes are taking place on all levels, all fields. So it's causing what is known as a quantum leap into the next stage of our evolution. So we must prepare for what's coming. So with that have said, I would like to share now my book, now that you guys have a thorough or a brief understanding of what some of these theories are. So with that have said, here is A New Heaven on Earth, a revelation of knowledge and preparation for the ascension of planet Earth. It has been confirmed by World Spiritual Advisor Goodwin Dupont that as of October 12, 2010, heaven on earth began the moment our sun rays hit the earth everywhere. That indeed, the work of the angels has been completed on earth as it is in heaven. As of that day forward, there has been a celebration in the heavens by all the angels in honor of a new heaven on earth. As a result of the completion of the great divine work, the next day, on the 13th of October 2010, there were massive UFO sightings everywhere in the world. China, United States, South America, Mexico, Europe, India, Africa, New Zealand, Greenland were among a few nations that reported these sightings. The New Heaven on Earth book is a spiritual awakening instrument that will awaken people into a multidimensional consciousness. So this is the preface. There's an introduction. And I divide it in 3 sections. Under section 1, we have